Good morning class. Welcome to the session 2021 and 2022. Okay, so my name is Nikita Pradhan and I will be taking your biology class. Okay, now I hope you all have for this session Innovative Biology by Good Luck Publisher, right? So first let us go through the contents of your book. Okay, now if you go through the contents of your book, you will see that it's divided into 5 units and total you have 7 chapters. Unit 1 is about tissue, where we will be discussing about plant tissue and animal tissue. Unit 2 is kingdom classification. Unit 3 is about plant life and Unit 4 is about human body. Here we will be discussing about 2 important organ system in human body, that is excretory system and nervous system. And Unit 5 is about health and hygiene. Okay, so for today's class I'll start with Unit 1, that is tissue, and within tissue we'll be starting chapter 1, that is plant tissue. Okay, now before moving on to chapter, let me ask you a few questions. I hope you'll be able to answer that, right? So if I tell you, can you name the smallest unit which makes up the living organism? Will you be able to name that? I hope you can, right? What is it? It's cell. So cell is the basic unit of any living organism, right? And all the structure, functional activity that is being carried out within a living organism is also due to cell, eventually because of the cell. Now let's come to tissue. What do you mean by tissue? Now tissue, it's a group of cells which perform a similar function. Okay, so what is tissue? So from cell, when a group of many cells they group together and perform a similar function, it is referred to as tissues. Okay, and when tissues group together, they form a organ, and when many organs group together, they form a organ system. Okay, now in this chapter we will be discussing about only plant tissues. Your tissues categorically it can be divided into 2 types, that is plant tissue and animal tissue. Now in the plant tissue we all know where it is present, right? It's in plants. So we will be discussing in chapter 1 only about the types of plant tissue, where is it present and what is its function. Okay, now your plant tissue can be divided into 2 types. Number 1 is your meristematic tissue, and then you have number 2, that is permanent tissue. These are the types of the plant tissue. What are those? Number 1 is your meristematic tissue and number 2 is permanent tissue. First, let us understand the difference between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Now, coming to meristematic tissue, the cells of this meristematic tissues are actively dividing and hence helps in the growth of a plant. Okay. Now, when the cells of a meristematic tissue ceases to divide, they get converted into permanent tissue, that is matured form of your meristematic tissue is only your permanent tissue, and these permanent tissues they have a specific role to perform in case of plants, and your meristematic tissue, the role is to help in growth of the plant. That means that's why they are present in the tips of the root or shoot. Okay, now for today's class let us only discuss about the meristematic tissue. First, coming to the types of meristematic tissues. Now meristematic tissue can be of 3 types. Those are apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. Now let us go through the location of apical meristem. Now your apical meristem, they are present in the tips of root and shoot. Tips of root and shoot. Now because of its presence in the tip of a root and shoot, it helps in the elongation of the root and shoot. Okay. And next comes your intercalary meristem. These are present beneath the bark region, or they are present in the side portion of a root and shoot, and hence helps in increasing the diameter of plant organ. They increase the diameter of a plant organ. Okay. Now next, coming to lateral meristem. Now this lateral meristem, they are present in the internode region. Internode region, and hence helps in increasing the length of a plant organ. They help in increasing the length of a plant organ. Okay. Now coming to the structure of the meristematic cells. Now if you come to the structure of a meristematic cells, then the cells are of small size, may be oval, spherical, and they are compactly packed. Compactly packed means they have very less intercellular space or no intercellular space in between the cells. Compactly packed. Okay. And they have prominent nucleus and filled with abundant cytoplasm. So those are the structure. If you look at those are the structure of a cells of a meristematic tissue. Okay, they are compactly packed. They have prominent nucleus, and you cannot. They are abundantly filled with cytoplasm. They are very small in size. Okay, the cell walls are very thin. Okay, so that's all we have to know about meristematic tissue. What is it? Where is it present? What is its role? Okay, so we can see that they help in growth of a plants and parts of plants. Okay, helps in bringing about the elongation or increase in size of the plant organs. Okay, types of meristematic tissue. Where are they present? In which part of the plant and their role? Okay, and the structure of the cell of a meristematic tissue. These are the few topics that you have to cover under the meristematic tissue. Now next day we will be discussing about another type of plant tissue, that is permanent tissue. So that's all for today's class. Okay, thank you.